Well, howdy y'all, I'm Striking and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be doing a dungeon walkthrough of MALIKAH'S Well. And this is one of the Stormblood dungeons from Final Fantasy XIV, and it is one of my favorites. This dungeon can be pretty straightforward, but there are a few things here and there to look out for. So let's begin. Our first boss is the Greater Armadillo. This boss fight is pretty straightforward. You're going to kill the adds, avoid AoEs, and do as much damage as possible. Let's take a look at his mechanics. First up, we have Stone Flail. This is a tank buster that you'll need to cool down and heal through as necessary. Next up is Rockfall, and he'll summon several circle AoEs, causing stones to fall from the ceiling. Move out of these to avoid excess damage. After that, he'll cast Head Toss, and will place a stack marker on a random player. Everyone should stack on top of each other to share this damage. Immediately after Head Toss, avoid the circle AoEs again, and then stay away from the boss's hitbox. He'll then do a spinning move, causing everyone caught inside of it to be knocked back and take additional damage. Next is Flail Toss, which is a room-wide AoE, which damage radiates out from the middle. Move to the edge of the map to minimize the amount of damage you take. Keep in mind, however, immediately after this, you'll need to move back to the center of the map, as he then casts a room-wide donut-shaped AoE around the edges. Avoid the circle AoEs in the center as well. These mechanics all repeat throughout the fight. Occasionally he'll spawn 2-pack armadillos, which are very weak and should be quickly dispatched. Continue to deal as much damage as possible and watch this boss quickly fall. Our next boss is the Amphibious Talus. This is another pretty straightforward fight with few mechanics that repeat throughout it. First up is Ephis, which is a pretty hefty tank buster. Cool down and heal through this as necessary. Next he'll cast Wellbore, which is a very large circular AoE in the center of the map. Avoid this by moving to the edges. He'll cast 4 circle AoEs around the room. These will spawn pillars of water that you want to avoid at all costs, as they will cause you to be heavied if you walk through them. Immediately after the pillars spawn, he'll cast High Pressure, which is a knockback attack. You want to position yourself between 2 water pillars to avoid being knocked into one. He then will use a spinning attack called Swift Spill that you need to stand behind him for, and follow him around the direction that's marked on the floor. After one full rotation, he'll stop that attack and the water pillars will disappear as well. Rinse and repeat, pun intended of course, and this boss will quickly go down. Our final boss is the Light Warden's Storage. This boss fight can be a little confusing at first glance, but once you understand the main 2 mechanics, it should be a cinch. Intestinal Crank is an unavoidable party-wide attack. Healers should be prepared to heal through this, and tanks can use cooldowns as well, although not really necessary. Heretics Fork creates a square of white light. You'll want to stand on the corners of the square next to the white glowing orb to avoid the cross-shaped damage. Breaking Wheel is a room-wide AoE attack. You'll want to move inside the circle under the boss to avoid damage. Crystal Nail summons 4 circular AoEs and 4 giant feathers will fall to the ground. Once these feathers are on the ground, the boss will cast either Heretics Fork or Breaking Wheel at random, so be prepared for either. Censure will be the next move used, and it will make the Crystal Nails copy whatever the last move the boss used, either Heretics Fork or Breaking Wheel. Each one will cast their move after the previous one in a clockwise direction, starting in the south. Position yourself to avoid the damage from each nail, and also be ready to quickly move to the next to avoid its damage. Once all 4 nails have cast their spells, the boss will cast the same spell again and the nails will be gone. This fight then continues with the boss randomly using either Heretics Fork or Breaking Wheel. Stay on your toes and watch for which spell is being cast, and you should be through with the Light Warden Storage in no time. And there you have it. Those are the 3 boss fights in MALIKAH'S Well. In between each boss, you'll want to burn down the trash mobs in whatever size group your tank and healer are comfortable with. You can potentially get an Armadillo minion from this dungeon, so you may want to run it a few times. That's all for now. Thanks for watching my walkthrough of MALIKAH'S Well. I'm Striking, and I'll see y'all in the next one.